I know you've imagined a world where your business thrives, your revenue soars, and your well being remains intact. And it can feel like some distant, unachievable dream. And today we're going to dive into strategies that will not only amplify your bottom line, but will also safeguard your vitality and enthusiasm. Because this journey of entrepreneurship isn't just about numbers and spreadsheets, it's about finding the harmony between ambition and self care. If you're tired of hearing the same old basic mindset and motivational fluff talk, you've come to the right show. Welcome to ProjectME with Tiffany Carter, the podcast, where we dish on everything from managing that crazy brain of yours to manifesting abundance to my straightforward, actionable steps that will make you major money online. Now, I'm not your typical multimillionaire entrepreneur. It takes a small village to keep my anxiety and depression in check. I'm inherently disorganized with an intense obsession with office supplies. Your girl here is a digital marketing content expert who's generated over $200 million in sales. I promise by tuning in twice a week, you will get a much needed refreshing dose of truth, clarity, and cash making advice. Now let's get to it. What up, my people, my posse, my fellow crazies? I'm your host, Tiffany Carter, coming to you live from the Cuddler. If you are watching on YouTube, you can see the shit show that I am right now. And if you're not, it might be worth going to ProjectME TV, subscribing, and checking it out. I did not feel like sitting in a proper chair today. So I'm bringing you the show that is going to help you grow your business, your bank account, that big, beautiful brain of yours, your relationships, your abundance, and everything in between, while I'm sitting in an awkward position on the Cuddler. Because we show up regardless around here for the things that we want in life. I want to have this luxurious lifestyle. I want to help as many people as possible be able to make a crap ton of money doing something that they love online. I want to be able to have the option to do what I want and when I want and how I want. And when we want all those things, that's great. And then it's going to require you to do some uncomfortable things and do stuff that feels tedious and do stuff that's annoying. And that's okay. I'll do it, but we can always find a way to make it more enjoyable. I love talking to you. I love coming on here, shooting the shit with you guys, sharing wisdom. I love it when you comment. I love reading all the comments on YouTube as you guys are watching and listening and taking in these lessons, because it really helps cement in the teachings. I love when you DM and you share about what resonated with you in episodes and aha moments. You know, this is a collaborative process. We're in this together. I don't pretend to know everything. I'm always learning. I've just been on this planet a while and I've gone through a lot of stuff. And I've had a lot of success and a lot of mistakes and a lot of mishaps and a lot of failures. And that's the beauty, is if you want to shortcut something and you want to make something easier for you, you learn from someone who's already done it. But we get to do things in a way that feels fun. So I said to myself, I'm kind of tired. My stomach kind of hurts. I know I need to record this episode, but I want to make sure like I'm in an energy where it's obvious that I want to be here, not in an uncomfortable, misery energy. Like, who the hell wants to listen or watch that? So I was like, I don't know. Let's bring the laptop and the mic to the Cuddler. Because, some days are just that way. So we got to first get this money mindset stuff sorted out. That's why I titled this episode, Let's Talk Money and Making More of It. You're not going to be able to make more money in any industry, in any area of your life, passively or actively, unless you first believe it's possible for you and you don't have to sacrifice anything for it. If you start believing, or you have been believing, I have to sacrifice time with my kids, I have to sacrifice a relationship, I have to sacrifice my energy, I have to do things that that feel miserable and feel hard and that feel annoying to me. And if you tell yourself all of those things, well, then you're not going to make money because you're not going to take the necessary actions. You're not even going to get any inspiration or ideas because what you're really saying to the universe is, I don't want it. You might consciously say that you want this thing and you want the freedom and you want to be able to podcast live from the cuddler and be making a minimum of $17,000 a day. You want to be able to work part-time. You want to be able to buy a first class, 5-star, ticket and trip anywhere in the world at any time because you can. You want to have all these things. Well, then you're going to have to start in a place where it's possible for you and the level of willingness to do what it takes. Most of the stuff it takes to be successful, especially when it comes in the money realm of things, are repetitive and tedious. It's kind of like working out. Working out's probably even more fun, right? Because at least you have good music on, like it's 40 minutes and you're done, or it's an hour and it's done. But this money stuff is ongoing. So if you are not tending to your money mindset regularly and daily by doing things like my abundance walks, which that link is in the show notes. It's in it's in the description on YouTube. It's free for you. I put that in there because that is designed to get you back into the energy of abundance in just minutes. And it takes away any possible excuse of you doing it. If you notice you are resisting doing these things that I am saying to you, absolutely without a doubt work, not just on me, but I've coached over 150,000 people worldwide. I know what works for the majority of people. Then you have to be honest with yourself. Then you're making a choice for it to not work. You're almost in so much resistance that you are determined for it not to work. And it's like, why would you be determined for it not to work when it's the very thing you want? Because it is vulnerable as fuck to really want something and then take action and put yourself out there for it, because you could be rejected. It could fail. And then what? So there's some of you that are here right now that are withholding and avoiding doing the things and going for it because it is a subconscious way to guarantee you won't be rejected, you won't fail, that you won't be judged, and you will be safe. That's one. It's just like the one way to guarantee you won't get pregnant is to not have sex. One way to guarantee that you won't fail is to never go for it. This is why so many people, I call them the lifelong student. They trick their mind into believing they're doing something because they're researching or they're studying or they're taking a class or they're getting another certification. But there's no risk in that. There's no fear in that. You're in the cloak of a learning phase. And a lot of people stay in it, and it makes your brain feel like you're actually taking action and you're doing nothing. It's like when I used to pin low carb recipes. I hate cooking. I'm not going to cook. I mean, I'll fuck with an egg every now and again. I can make a salad maybe, but it's not my thing, not into it, not approved. And yet I would pin all of these things because me pinning all this made me feel like I was doing something. It supported the lie that, oh, I'm going to now cook for myself and I'm going to eat healthier because I'm cooking for myself. And it appeased me in that moment. It's the same reason why people buy exercise equipment or they even buy new workout clothes. They tell themselves the lie that now I've got the clothes, now I got the equipment, now I'm going to do it. So let's get into how to make more money in your existing business. Now, if you are someone who's listening, you're like, I haven't started my business yet, Tiffany. I have a jobby job, or I want to keep my job. There's so many variations of your current situation. But the bottom line is, if you want to bring more money into your life right now with less effort and less work, then we've got to leverage what you've already got. And we have to leverage the things that come easily for you and the things that you enjoy doing. And they are two different things. Because there's some things that come natural and easy to you that just aren't hard for you, that are really hard for other people. But just because it comes easily, that doesn't mean you enjoy doing it. There's a lot of things that come easily to me that I can't be bothered with. And now I'm trying to think of what some of those are off the cuff. Probably like corporate type emails, me doing like slide presentations, like that kind of stuff. I'm great at all that corporate like vernacular and presentation, but like I really don't want to do it. We are ending, so you're going to want to make sure you do this for my procrastinators, or if you're new to me, I am giving away my brand new, and I've made it now into a course, so it's even better. So those of you who've already done the Apple podcast review, you are going to get my Make More While Working Less, and it is a workbook course. So you're also getting audios and video in there as well. So I've made it even better, but I'm about to launch that to where it's available for purchase. But right now you can get it for free as long as you write a Apple podcast review of the show. Leave your name or your Instagram or TikTok handle in the review. I know some of you might not want to leave your name just because you're more private, and that's fine, but leave your Instagram or TikTok handle so we can cross-reference. Take a screenshot of it and email it to us at support@projectmewithtiffany.com. It's right in the show notes. So on Spotify, you can swipe up. On Apple Podcasts, you can swipe up. On iHeartRadio, you can swipe up. If you're on YouTube, it's in the description. It's right in there for you, that exact email. And then once I close this special giveaway, we will be emailing out this workbook course. Or you can wait until I put it up for sale and buy it. But why would you do that if in 30 seconds you can write a review of the show? And also at the same time, it feels good to write a review for someone, something, a product that we enjoy. It creates that law of reciprocity. When we're being abundant and we're giving from a place from our heart and a place of service and a place of joy, we end up receiving more of that in return. So make sure you go do that. And the other thing is the August flash bonus sale for my famous ProjectME Posse business coaching membership. Obviously, because August is almost over, that is going to be ending, and you do not want to miss that. That's where you get all of this, but in weekly live trainings from me, and I bring in other special guest experts. You get a membership portal of over 350 prior live trainings, and it's specifically designed to get you from zero to $15,000 a month. That's who that's best for. I do have some clients who are in there that are making more than that because they say they really like the reminders. They always learn something new. They like the accountability. They like the check-in because it's also an entrepreneur, small business owner support group where we talk about like the real stuff. Like there's no gatekeeping going on and no gatekeeping on the strategy. It's not like I'm going, oh, well, they're only paying me $100 a month for this, so I'm not going to teach them this. Yeah, that's not how I roll. Now, you want to have more exposure to me, more customization with me, more depth with me. Yes, you are going to have to spend more money, but you can go to projectmewithtiffany.com/projectme posse. Swipe up. That's in the show notes. You get my content creation made easy course bundle. That's $297 for free. That's the flash bonus sale. So go grab it. There should be membership spots left. If it's full, the page will say it. So I can't control when you're watching it. So it might say it's full. And then you'll just need to refresh the page every day to see if there's any new spots. So let's take a look at this stuff. Okay. And I've made notes for this. So this is, serious business here. There's notes, they're typed. So if you're watching me and you're like, why the hell is she looking over in another direction? Because I prepared for this shit. Okay. That's why. And I'm balancing the mic on my stomach and I'm not sure how well this is going, but it's okay. I mean, I would be entertained watching someone who's like just chilling. Aren't we fucking tired of people being so polished and put together and perfect? Like I was so tired of that. And that I would say that's the first thing I want you to take a look at. What are you so tired of in your industry or the industry that you want, that you're interested in getting into, either way? What are you tired of? Oftentimes that's where the best ideas are born. What I was tired of is like everyone seeming like they have it together, only showing like these really attractive, glamorous versions of themselves. And I was over here like at this point back then, where I was like, I think I was an entrepreneur like 9.5 years, already had a very, very successful 8-figure agency. So I have a digital marketing agency that focuses in the pharma, medical, and health practitioner sector. So like 16 years now. But at that time, it was almost 10. And I would be watching, I wasn't like someone who put out any content, like I was a lurker and I'd follow maybe like authors I was into. I didn't have some like built up page or anything. And so I would watch all of these entrepreneurs, and I'm using quotes because a lot of these people were not true like business people. Like they either fell into it or I don't know. I was watching all this whole boss babe movement and I was get so irritated. I'd be like, well, they're not telling the whole story. They're not giving the whole picture. Like, why are they making it look so glamorous all the time? And then I soon realized it was because people would then buy their shit. But just like I bought the shake weight and the slim fit tee that made me shart a few times in public. Thank you. Nothing like a good old shart to get some ab lines. And they would buy more from them because they're basic. I make 6 figures in my sleep. And, I took my business in 3 months from zero to $300,000. And it's no different than like the fitness weight loss industry. And I was disgusted by it as an experienced, true business person. I was like, yeah, there are glamorous moments and there's some great things, but they're not telling the full story. And no one would fucking tell you how. No one would say how. I was like they would circle talk you, even the people you paid. And I bought some of these programs because I was like, okay, well, I've never had an online business. My other business was like made in the very fucking hard and traditional way. So I was like, huh. And I go, well, I need to learn, right? I'm a big advocate of, investing in yourself and spending money and all that stuff. And I did these programs. I'd walk away. No one told me what the fuck to do. I'm like, this is wild. So you're telling me what's possible, what's here for me, maybe helped brainstorm some ideas, but no one was actually getting into the nitty gritty of how, like, you need to have people that exist to build trust with to buy from you. If you don't have that, you don't have a business. You might have a great product, but you have no one to buy it. You have to have like audience expansion and you have to have a way of reaching these people and having a way of communicating with these people so they understand you and your heart and your essence so that they feel good about using their credit card or spending their time, energy, and money on you. And so because that irritated me, and of course, I love complaining, by the way. Like, I'm not really serious when I complain. It's more like a vent. I feel like it helps get stress out of my system. But I don't like stay in a victimy spot. I just like venting and getting it out. And I'll do it out loud by myself, by the way. I don't know if that's weird. Might be. It could be only child syndrome possible over here. So one day I remember I was in my podcast studio and I was like, what the fuck are these people talking about? What are these people doing? Like, I just spent an hour on this like webinar and I learned fucking nothing. And I heard myself and I was like, oh my God, I could fill this gap. I can't be the only person who finds this annoying, who finds this frustrating. And then knowing my personality, that's very direct. I like using a lot of humor. I really like teaching. Like the strategy, the how. I like talking about all this other stuff, but I like actionable, clear steps, like getting into it with you. I love it. And I was like, okay, this could be my thing. Because, like many of you, I was looking at everything like, okay, I guess there's all these people calling themselves business coaches. Like you're probably seeing that in your industry that you're in or the industry you want to get in. Oh my God, there's so many people doing what I'm doing, or there's so many people doing what I want to do. There's so many people doing everything. And I pulled some stats for you. I have multiple notes today, and this one's on my phone. So let me pull it up because I took a screenshot. I have like not even 5,000. There's probably 50,000 screenshots on my phone. Hold on. This is very good. Okay. Okay. The revenue in the online education market is projected to reach $167 billion in 2023. And it is expected to have a growth rate of 9.48%, which is out of control, amazing. And by 2027, it will reach a minimum of $239 billion. Okay. So there is so much money out there. And if you're like, well, I don't want to be a coach, Tiffany, I said the online education courses and coaching market. You don't have to be a coach. It's e-learning. It's people learning this way. It's people getting help, getting guidance, getting expertise, getting healing, getting direction, getting support, getting accountability through the screen, through their ears, through reading online. This is huge. We've been trained now, right? I used to love going to the grocery store. I don't want to go to the store now. It takes up so much time to go to the store when I could just have it delivered here and I don't even have to put on pants. Therapy is online. Medicine is online. Teledoc is online, right? Like the movement's already occurred and you're not too late. It's only exploding further and further and further. So first thing is you're going to do a whole venting. It can be out loud. It can be to a trusted friend. You can write and vent that way. We need to have a word for writing and venting. We need to have a term for this. I'll come up with it. And you're not like trying to judge or hate on other people in the industry, but we need to get this out. Then go back and look at your list and look at areas where you think there's a hole in the market. Trust that something that annoys you, that irritates you, that frustrates you, there's a whole lot of other people that frustrates. And you don't need to have billions of people, millions of people. All you need is a micro fraction of this to make even $1 million a year. That's it. Remember, 3% of your audience size is ready to buy from you at any given time. So that's 3 people out of every 100. You don't need to have that many people in your audience for you to make a crap ton of money, or even start with making like a nice chunk of money, right? Like who wouldn't want a couple extra grand a month? And then we scale from there. On any given offer. That's why when I talk about all these different passive income streams, you start with one and you build on it, and some will make more than others. And then what happens is the combination of all those, just like having a stock portfolio, makes you rich without working more. So when you're circling those, circle where the gaps are and then go, okay, which would I really like to fill? Not just that you're good at, right? And we want it to come easy to you, but also that really like, you're like, oh my God, if I could get paid to do this. And this again, does not matter if you have an existing business, if you're already making millions, if you're starting, this applies across the board. If you're trying to and want to bring in more fresh cash and revenue in your business without giving up more time for it. This is the focus of my live business mastermind event. It's a 2-day event right here at the beach house. You'll be able to see the cuddler, people. You can even sit on the cuddler. You too can sit on the cuddler. Picture a luxury beach retreat meets a business strategy mastermind. You're going to have so much fun, so memorable, and you're going to walk away with knowing exactly what is your next big idea, what to do with it, how to launch it, how to scale it, what profitable marketing and content plan to put around it. And you're not going to have the questions circling in your mind. Where do I start? What do I say? I have people buying this, Tiffany, but I want so many more people. How do I grow my audience? You can sit there and get stuck in the figuring it out. I was stuck there for 10 years. I wasted 10 years in that land. You can either stay in that figuring it out land, which just expends energy and wastes your time and makes you no money, or you can stop fucking around and come right to it. And I am doing something I've never done this before. And there's a lot of people who will vouch for that. And I might not ever do it again. I am opening up. I have room for 3 more people where you can buy a ticket to my live mastermind event. And you can come here for 2 days with me and my ProjectME dream team. It'll be the best money you've ever spent on your business. And it's a tax deduction because this is a business mastermind. If this is something where you're like, you know what, I'm done messing around and I want to go for it. I want to do the damn thing. And this is what is going to kickstart you in a whole nother way of looking at your business differently, looking at money differently, so that 2023 ends up being the most profitable year of your life, then you need to come, period, hands down. The registration and payment link is also in the show notes. If you have any questions, you can email us at the support email. You can also DM me on Instagram. If you have specific questions about like, do you think this would be a good fit for me? But the reality is yes, my answer is most likely going to be yes, unless you're an asshole. I just don't want any assholes there. But if you're someone who really wants their business to go to a whole nother level and you are not sure how, and you're humble and willing to learn, and you also want to have a great time doing it, and you would be so appreciative and so excited to learn from me and my team in person, then give yourself that. It's really a gift, right? Like imagine having this all customized for you, all in person. It takes away years of time that you're wasted, or you can continue spinning your wheels. That's an option. That's always an option too, but I at least want you to look at what that's going to cost you. Okay. So we want to leverage your existing assets. This is also a key of how you make more money with doing less. We want to leverage what you got, and you all got something. Everyone has something that you can monetize. There's something else you have, even though you're monetizing it in your business. There's another thing. There's another thing that you can add in. There's another thing you can do. So where you can maybe upsell a current offer, for example, is there an add-on? So for example, my in-person business mastermind I just talked to you about, there was a VIP option that you could go up to. Those are sold out now. So there's the regular option for the 2 days, which is, I believe it's 3,500 or 3,400. And then there's a VIP option that was 4,200, where you get a private session, in-person session with me, which is unheard of. I don't do that. And you got to come to a special dinner, and there was something else. So there are add-ons where you can upsell. There's always people who are going to want a little more. There's always people who want the best. I'm that person. I don't fuck around with low-level stuff because that ends up costing me the most money and time. And that goes for even like I am buying, because I'm lazy about getting furniture. I want someone to do almost everything for me. But I needed like a cute dining room set for in here. And the only reason I prioritized it is because people are coming to this beach house, and that'd be a little weird that I didn't have one. And I just wasted 2 hours of my time looking for some cheap furniture, but it had to look good. And I go, wouldn't it have been a better use of my time just to buy the damn thing that I want that has the lavender chairs that are so comfortable? And yeah, it was a fuck ton more money. But you know what would have been more expensive? Me buying a cheap thing and hating it and then being embarrassed for people to see it and hoping they didn't notice it was cheap, that Tiffany, the multi-millionaire, well-known podcaster and business coach, has some janky ass furniture. So you want to make sure you have these add-ons. There's so many add-ons you can do inside of your business. Maybe they get more time with you. Maybe they get an extra video, they get an extra bonus Q&A session. Get creative. What more can you do to enhance someone's current experience with you? All right. And upsell, bundle your products or services, put a bunch of things together. You can even collaborate with another brand or another person, like meaning a personal brand, right? Like another person, and collaborate with them and give them a cut of it, or in exchange for the exposure they're getting, right? Like they're getting a class with so and so, like a video course with so and so, or they give you one of their courses and they have to pay. So they have to pay for that. So you can leverage other people's courses and products to enhance your own. It doesn't take away from it, it only enhances it. There's so many ways to already use what you've got. So let's say you're someone who is doing some sort of like fitness or health thing. And you're like, God, I really want to get into more like mindset stuff, Tiff, but the fitness stuff pays the bills, but I'm trading most of my time for money and I can't keep this going because I'm going to my body's starting to fall apart. And what else can I do? Because I'm already tapped out for time for money, blah, 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 blah. I want to do online group coaching, but I'm not yet getting enough people in those. Well, first of all, then maybe you need to invest in coming to the mastermind. Or at the very least, join the posse so you can learn how to bring in more people. But there's always a way to leverage more services, right? Like maybe what you do is you do really small groups. So you create like semi-private coaching, or you come up with a cool name where it's like a collective and you take five, you're only taking 5 people. So they each get like customized, intimate attention, but you're still trading a lot less of your time. I'm sorry, you're trading the same amount of time, but you're getting more money. That might be a stepping stone for you on where you go with it. Okay, so let's look at like pricing and packaging strategies. This is so popular in the consumer packaged goods world, and I am privileged to be a consultant behind the scenes for multi-billion-dollar corporations with brands you're very familiar with. That's why I take the strategies there and show you how to implement them into a small business. You don't have to necessarily have a big budget. You're doing it on a much smaller scale than they are. So, when you see packaging for like lotions and potions, it'll be like new and improved, or new flavor, or new formula, or they come up with some reason to refresh it, or they rename it or repackage it. You have offers, many of you, and programs and courses and things that might not have really sold. And then you're just like, it went into your graveyard of things you created. Well, your thing probably is very valuable, but the packaging of it and the marketing of it, my guess was terrible, or people would have bought it. You can have a shit product and amazing marketing and people will buy it, right? There's a lot of that out there. But you likely have the reverse problem because you guys are heart-based entrepreneurs, high integrity people, where you have an amazing program, but you're not having people buying it because you're missing the mark on the messaging and packaging. So how can you infuse new life into programs that are kind of tired, kind of feels stale. What can you do to really get yourself excited about it again? This doesn't mean you have to add even more stuff to it. Maybe some of you need to pare down some of your offerings. You gave too much into one program. It was too involved and felt like too much work for people. And a lot of you do that who feel like, God, if I'm going to charge this much, I have to give more. And then you give 25 modules, 87 bonuses. You're solving 12 different problems, and it's so overwhelming to people, and it reads like it's going to be so much work. So then they don't do it. So how about you break it up? It would almost be like you doing it'd be like this podcast episode, and now someone's going to take it, which we do, and cuts up some of the key points in this episode into clips for like YouTube shorts or, for Instagram reels. That's what you need to do with your offerings. You can even do this with service-based offerings. So if you're someone who does like content creation, or you love doing content and you want that to be a service and try it out for people, you can just specify on doing content for Instagram, content for TikTok. You can just focus on video content. You don't need to do the whole enchilada, because some of that is what doesn't feel good to you. You can simply specialize in caption writing. I mean, there's a lot of people who would pay for that. My permanent makeup artists, like you got, even my tattoo artists, you guys don't have to offer more services to make more money. You can repackage or bundle your services to make more money. You can create a subscription service out of it. You can create a customer loyalty program where they pay X amount and get less money. It's that you've not been thinking that way. All you're thinking of is how you're on the loop of, I need to figure out how to make more. I need to figure out how to get more people in it. And you're on that loop. And when you're on that, we need to break you of it. So you start thinking differently. That's the danger of doing this stuff on Entrepreneur Island by yourself and not being in like a mastermind, or not being like in my posse membership, where it's easy to give advice to other people. It's very difficult to give it to ourselves. We can't see it. So this way you have people giving you ideas, and it just comes to them and you go, God, why didn't I think of that? Well, why would you? You have a bunch of other stuff going on in that head of yours and in your life. And then our egos get in the way. And then we have subconscious blocks, and we have all sorts of stuff going on. That's another way to make money easier, is to leverage other people's ideas that they give to you. Leverage the power of collaboration with people. That's not just for cross-pollination, for audience growth and all of that, but leverage collaboration for creative brainstorming, right? Like that is essential for you to be able to come up. I mean, some of my coolest offers, me doing my, 2-day live mastermind, the in-person thing, that was born out of me being in a mastermind myself, and me going, yeah, but I don't want to do this, and this. Like I get so irritated with masterminds because I know so many people who've invested so much money, and while they get the feeling of inspiration and they meet some people, they never really get the implementation of the information so that they can walk away and the needle moves in their business, where like work has been done. And I said, and I don't want to be one of those people. And I remember this coach she was like, so then don't. It's Kathy Heller. I don't know if you know her. She's a really popular podcaster. She was just like, so don't. And I'm like, okay. She's like, why don't you create something that's never been done before that solves this problem? And I was like, why didn't I think of that? And I know why. How could I think of it? I was too focused on, I want this, but I don't want to do that. And I don't want to do that. And I don't want to do that. I did the same thing with TikTok, which is why I didn't go on it until recently. It's like I did the same thing with my email list. You're doing the same thing with other things. You're saying you want to make more money, but I don't want to do this, but I don't want to do that. Okay. We get it. Like we get what you don't want to do, But let's talk about what you do want to do. How can we leverage your existing skills, your products, your offers, your services, repackage them, bundle them, present them in a different way? I mean, it's as simple as some people don't want to do a self-paced course. Okay. Like they've done enough, they don't follow through, they don't want it. So then how can you repackage a self-paced course that no one bought of yours or very few people bought? How can you repackage it and deliver it in a different way? Maybe if you had one or two live components to it, then people would be excited to buy it. Maybe if you went at it and presented it a different way, maybe it's better structured as a group coaching program. Maybe it's better structured as something else, as a 2-hour paid workshop that they get along with the self-paced course. Do you see what I'm saying? There's always ways. There's many, many different ways to solve a Rubik's Cube. There's not just one way, and someone probably has done the math on all the different ways. You're just stuck on this loop for this one way. And I want to make sure I include a little more on the pricing. So you can make more money by simply adjusting your pricing. Now, I'm not saying it is a profitable business plan just to increase your prices, but there's a lot of you that do need to increase your prices. There's a lot of you who are not giving offers at price points where you're meeting people where they're at. I want you to have 4 different price points. You should have free, right? So I'll give you examples of mine, right? We got free, we got the abundance walks. You know where to get those. You swipe up for all this stuff. We got my special giveaway going on, my Work Less While Making More workbook course. So that's free. You're listening to it, podcast free, high value free. And then we have a low ticket, which is my ProjectME Posse business coaching membership. It's $3.33 a day. And if you buy the year option, which I highly suggest, that's a crazy deal. I mean, I don't know the math in my head, but it's less than $3.33 a day. Then you can go into like a mid for where I'm at. I would say like a mid offer for me is my signature program, Selling with Soul, that I only launch once a year. And then we go into high, which are my masterminds, my private one-on-one coaching program. You see what I'm saying? So you need to create different offer points, because maybe you'd have a lot of people in your audience that it'd be a no-brainer to buy something from you at $500, and you have 10 people who would buy right now at $500, but you had it like priced at, $2,000 or something, and there wasn't enough trust built with you. It's not that they didn't think your stuff is worth it. It's that they didn't get enough trust. They didn't get enough time and energy and rapport built with you to take that much of a vulnerable action. That's all that means. It's not just that value. It's that someone needs to trust you enough to pay certain levels of money. I don't have to trust you that much to give you $1. I don't have to trust you that much to give you $5. But you best believe if I'm even going to give you $100, I need to vibe you. And then if I'm giving you thousands of dollars, I need to absolutely feel like you're not going to screw me over, and that your words and actions match, and that you've got receipts. And if I'm going to give you tens of thousands of dollars, we better have had a conversation, a virtual conversation. And I better feel really clear of what my ROI is going to be, and that I really like you, and I feel like I know you, and I trust you, right? And I value you. So that's what you're doing here. But you're sitting on all this. Anyone who says to me, but Tiffany, I don't know what to do. I have this for my business. I don't know what else I can do. What other skills of yours or things that come easily to you are other things that come really hard to people? I am a master at naming products and offerings and coming up with the taglines. It is a delight for me to do it. It's a fun puzzle for me to do it. And I'm amazing at it and I'm quick at it. There are many other people, I guarantee a large majority of you listening, where you struggle what to name your stuff and what to say about it. And you waste days in anguish. And if there was, you would pay a lot of money just to have someone tell you a name that was like, damn, that's good. Right? So that could be a service, something I'm good at. It can be something unexpected. Maybe you have a lot of knowledge in a certain area. Don't assume that other people, that other people wouldn't pay for that knowledge. I mean, I would pay for someone having, I don't know, let's say you're someone who wanted to shed another layer of fat and you wanted to get help from somebody to make 5-minute meals. There's a lot of people who would pay for stuff like that. So don't underestimate the simple stuff that comes easy to you that people would pay for. Back when I was in corporate, I used to literally wish to the universe there was someone I could find who could do all my Excel spreadsheets for me. But at that time, there wasn't all of this online stuff where people were doing that. But now there is, and there's still a lot of people who would love it if someone would do their Excel spreadsheets for them. You could make a lot of money just doing that as another revenue stream. Now, is that trading time for money? Yeah, essentially, but so what if you're wanting to bring in more money, right? You're not doing that much work, because if it's something that comes that easily to you and you actually delight in doing it, then you could be sitting on your couch watching TV and doing spreadsheets. There's people that are like this when it comes to doing graphics. You're like this with other areas. So let's hone in on it, package it, and put the damn thing out there. Put the word on the streets, honey. And go back to, there's so much money out there. There's more money out there. More people are spending. Don't buy into the hoopla. All the projections are that Black Friday this year is going to be significantly larger than last year. And in fact, Harvard Business Review just said that the average cart price, so the average customer purchase price, is going up. It's a substantial figure that it's going up this year. So don't believe the hype to keep yourself small. Instead, use that energy and either work with me so that you can get this stuff done and put it out there. Every day your stuff isn't out there is day you're losing money. So let's bring this in. It's all sitting out there. It's all available for you. And just start with step one. Start with phase one, with brainstorming this stuff. And you can start asking other people questions too, to give you some outside feedback. But it's all here for you. There's so much abundance that I laugh some days how easy it is. But I had to first believe that it gets to be this easy. It gets to happen this quickly. It gets to be this simple. It gets to be this fun. If I didn't believe that, my brain would never open up to these ideas. I wouldn't even try, wouldn't even take the risk. I wouldn't invest in growing myself in my business. I wouldn't show up and do all these things. I wouldn't get on video. I wouldn't even done a show. Why would I have done it if I didn't believe that it gets to be easy? It gets to be fun. It gets to be so profitable that it's crazy. I mean, an introvert's dream. I'm making millions of dollars from the cuddler while looking at one of the most prestigious beaches in the entire world, talking shit with you, swearing, and delighting in it, and being able to help you with my intellectual property. You can absolutely have all of this. I'm evidence of it. Wishing you great health, wealth, and worth as always. Love you. Don't forget, write the damn review so you can get the workbook, and swipe up or go in the description on YouTube for all the links to all the things. Remember, 3 spots left for my in-person mastermind. It's a strict cap, or the fire marshal will be called. And we don't want that fire marshal coming. All right. Love you guys. If you enjoyed this podcast, please write a 5-star review on iTunes. Not only will this make me super happy, but it will allow more listeners to find our special show. Simply help me help others.